This story that I'm going to tell you is dedicated to a boy who's no longer with us. His name was Nicky. I met Nicky when I was 10 years old. I want to tell this story in his honor because it was a story that I've taken with me for 50 years. This morning in our group, Best Italian and Non-Italian Recipes, one of our group members said to me, "Nick, I like the way you speak, and he gave some nice compliments to myself and my sister. And he said, you guys should have a talk show because you got the rap, and your sister's got the cooking prowess." And so, Tony, this one goes out to you because I don't think anybody really knows this story. I've never really, told it outside of my family. Sometimes when I'm with my wife and we start talking about stuff, she's always asking me, "Oh, tell that story of when you first came to America." My family came to America August 11, 1970. This year it's going to be 50 years that we're here. So, being an immigrant, none of us spoke a word of English. At that time, there was no push buttons on the phone, so you didn't push for one, for two, for three, for different languages. You just had to learn. I wound up at PS 32 in the Bronx, and my teacher was a Scottish woman named Mrs. McCrudden. Very stern, very tough. Those were the days when you caught them by the teacher. Not just the ruler, but sometimes you got smack you in there. She was incredible. She had an entire room full of young kids, and they were from all over the place. But before I wound up in her room, they put me in a class with a woman called Mrs. Comebacker. And I had a pretty good report card, so I guess they just assumed that I was somewhat smart, I guess you could say that. But she didn't realize that I didn't speak a word of English. I was in this classroom with Mrs. Comebacker, and all the kids were bullying me, making fun at me, what you would expect, by kids. Kids can be a little mean, right? And I realized after maybe a couple of days that I was in this classroom, how tough this was going to be for me. And how was I going to, make peace with this? Imagine 10 years old, I'm in a classroom, I don't speak a word of English, they're making fun of me. I just want to go home. I just don't even want to be there. But I never expected this to happen on this particular day. I needed to go to the bathroom. And this was probably the toughest thing for me because I didn't know how to ask the teacher. I didn't know who to talk to. I had no friends. So I raised my hand. And I said in Italian, "Posso andare al bagno?" And as you can imagine, the entire classroom began laughing. Everybody erupted in a thunderous laugh, which I wanted to crawl inside and die. But I said, "The hell with this, man. I just got to do what I got to do." So I said again, "Posso andare al bagno?" To which she looked at me and spoke in English, but all I could hear was, "Bwah, bwah, 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 bwah." Remember from Charlie Brown, the Peanuts? I had no idea what she was saying to me. And I just looked at her, and again, she looked at me and said, "Bwah, bwah, 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 bwah." And I just wanted to run away. And suddenly, out of nowhere, to my right, this little boy said to her, "Bwah, bwah, 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 bwah." And she looked at him and she said, "Bwah, bwah, 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 bwah." And I'm thinking, what the heck is going on? When he suddenly turned and said to me in Italian, "You can go to the bathroom. I asked her that you need to go to the bathroom, and you can go. Don't worry about it." I looked at him. He's speaking Italian, and I'm thinking, "Oh, they're here too. We're not the only Italians." I thought to myself that very minute, this is my new best friend. His name was Nicky, like me. And that was your brother, Tony. That was your brother. So Nicky asked for me, and I became very good friends with him. And everywhere he went, man, I tried to follow him. I tried to go with him because He spoke Italian and he spoke English, and I just thought this was like unbelievable. I carry that story throughout my life because it has sustained me. And in moments when I thought I couldn't do it, I wouldn't be able to do it, I couldn't get there. It's like this time right now in everybody's life, this pandemic, right? And the thing I'm realizing is that while physically we may be in this lockdown or whatever they call it, I don't know if it's a lockdown really, my mind has never been in lockdown mode. As a 10-year-old boy and as a man who's now 59 years old, I'll be turning 60 in a few months and I'm pretty proud of it, I will never allow my mind to be in lockdown mode. I will never allow my mind to be trapped in a thought that I can't or will not and should not, or impossibilities of any type. And Nicky has been with me all my life, so that any time that I've stood in a position of fear, in a position of confusion, in a position of uncertainty, I remember finding the strength in a 10-year-old boy that was next to me. Nicky, rest in peace, my man. And Tony, thank you for your compliments this morning. And to you all, I wish you a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Let's honor those who are serving, have served, and some who have given their lives so that we may express ourselves still, regardless of all this nonsense, in the freedom which holds us safe. Have a great day. Peace.